Hey, how you doing? Woody Woodruff here in the sports office on a Friday, having fun. You know what's going on. We are here again. I've got James Paxton right
Fun
here,
Friday!
sports producer. I've got Nolan Bianchi from the Detroit News, Lions beat writer. We're going to get into all of it, but you know what? I want to start the show by reminding all of you that you can also join in on this discussion. Get into the Zoom room. The meeting ID is right there, or you can jump on the QR code over on this side of the screen. Just flash it. You'll get right in the room, and we can start to talk about everything that's going on. This is a huge weekend. Obviously, the Tigers are moving on. We're ready for the Lions to take on the Bengals. We've got Michigan State in action. The Red Wings season is about to begin. Lots of the death of the USFL Michigan Panthers. I mean, we're talking about it all, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So, shall we start things off, James? What are we talking about? How do you want to start tonight?
Well, we have Nolan here, and it is a Lions Day. Along with the Tigers, the Spartans, the Wolverines, all that. Nolan, I'm just going to start simply. I think the Bengals are terrible. Is there any sort of way Cincinnati beats Detroit? And if you say yes, how?
I don't see it, and I was on my own podcast earlier this week, basically saying the same thing. I think at one point I called them the stinky Bengals, which might have been a little bit too far, but this team has not been good in these last two games. They're getting outscored something like 76-13. I think they're averaging 165 yards of offense. That's just not going to get it done. And against this team, the makings of a trap game are there, but they just had a trap game, quote unquote, last week. Seemed to not disrupt them, and then I don't really think that they played very well in that win over the Browns. So I don't think this is a game where they're coming in, they're riding high, things of that nature. I think they're really going to kind of actually want to build on what they did last week.
Nolan, let me ask you this. Are we starting to see the beginnings of momentum for this team? I mean, I talked to a couple guys. They said it might be a little bit too early, but, I mean, the makings of it are here right now, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they came out last year. They lose in week 2. Everybody's like, okay, 1-1, and then all of a sudden they're just off and running. I think they're kind of in those early stages of what they were last season. Now the schedule, it's going to be a little bit more difficult down the road, so we'll see whether or not they're able to stack up those 15 wins. But I think for all intents and purposes, this team is just as good as they were last year.
You talked about the stinky Bengals and all that kind of thing, but they still got some dudes on there. I mean, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins on offense, and on defense, guys like Jordan Battle and Dax Hill. Jordan Battle has a couple of interceptions already this year, I think, so it's not like walking the park. I mean, these guys still got to, put the shoes on and go out and play.
That's right, and especially in the NFL. I mean, that's kind of always the thing there is these guys get paid too. But, yeah, you're right, and especially with the way the cornerback situation is kind of shaking out for Detroit right now. DJ Reed on injured reserve earlier this week. Khalil Dorsey not going to be playing in this game. He's got an injury, picked up one today. So they're going to be out there with Taron Arnold and Rocky Sean and Amik Robertson, some combination of that. But, yeah, they don't have their best cornerback in this game, and against those receivers, anything can happen, I suppose.
And that may be a scary subject. Hey, you know what? While we're here, let's talk about everyone else who helps us put this show on. We got my man Tom Carr running things again over here. Tommy, your man in the Zoom room here. And Tommy wants you to call him, turn your camera on. You can get right in the Zoom room and come in and chat with me, with James, with Nolan about all kinds of sports. Right now we're talking about the Lions as they get set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday down on the road. Again, the Lions going out on the road. The question now is, from the defense, Kelvin Shepherd seems to have this whole unit looking really good. Specifically, the linebacker position. I'm seeing a lot of good stuff with Jack Campbell, Anzalone, Derek Barnes, and there's maybe a cast of others. Zach Cunningham, guys like that. So everybody seems to be chipping in, James.
Oh, the linebackers, they look fast, and that's something from a lot of past Lions teams, that they don't look fast, high-flying, finish the tackle. And I know you already said Jack Campbell, but Campbell has looked incredible this year. And you kind of think about the future. Maybe that's why they weren't looking at Anzalone that much in the offseason. They're like, Jack Campbell's going to take over for us. He's going to be the captain of this defense.
Yeah, it seems that that's like natural evolution, though. I mean, they've been grooming Campbell for a couple of years to do this, and so has Anzalone. He's been helping them as well, and it's nice to see the payoff, Nolan, where you can all of a sudden see Jack Campbell in there making calls, yelling out protections and things like that.
Yeah, he looks like he's on his way to being one of the top 5 best linebackers in this league. And, you just mentioned a couple of the other guys, too. Zach Cunningham being one of them. He makes a big stop on the goal line in Baltimore a few weeks ago. Trevor Nowatzki is another guy who had a sack in that Baltimore game. He gets 13 snaps against the Browns last week and really makes the most of his showing. That's a deep position group right now, and they still have Malcolm Rodriguez kind of waiting in the wings on injured reserve, looking to come back from last year's knee injury. So, I would argue the linebacker crew is as good as the top-end talent is. I also think this is probably the deepest position on the team.
It goes to show you how scary the Lions can be to the opposition. I mean, even though they have a few injuries coming in, I mean, this team is starting to, get their legs under them, and I don't see really much stopping them except themselves. That's always the case with the teams that we root for. It's always they stop themselves. Remember, you guys can also join in the conversation, and that's what we're looking for, okay? We got plenty to talk about here. We got a couple of entertaining things. I've got some games to play with some people. So, whoever wants to come in, it's going to be fun. Some of the other topics that we're talking about with this Lions team, James, we were talking with Dave Phipp in the kicking game this week as well. I mean, there were some funny stories going on with Phipp. Nolan, you heard what we heard this week as well.
Yeah, he was awesome. And, he actually talked about kind of one of the big topics around the NFL right now, which is these new kicking balls that they're using. So basically in the past, these K balls, as they're called, they want them to be soft. They want to remove the bumps from them. And so previously the process for that was on game day, a referee would give a team their kicking balls for the day, and what they'd end up doing is those guys would have about an hour and a half to get those balls ready for game time. But now they're allowed to keep the kicking balls in-house all week, so they're allowed to prep them all week. There's no race against the clock. I talked to Jake Bates about this, actually. He said he doesn't seem to think it makes that much of a difference, although Vic Fangio, the Eagles defensive coordinator, said it's compared it to the steroid era in baseball, which I think might be a little bit overblown.
That seems like a stretch.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, a little bit.
Basically, what it comes down to, though, is that it sounds like teams who did have a good K-ball preparer in the past don't seem to notice a difference, but maybe teams who didn't have as good of an operation on game day are definitely seeing a little bit of benefits.
All right, let's get some fans involved. Right now, I understand we got somebody in the Zoom room. Tommy, is it Mr. Moldy Bread? Is that what you said it was?
Liquid bread.
I'm sorry.
It's not moldy. It's liquid bread.
I'm sorry. It is liquid bread. Hello, sir. How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. What do you want to know about the Lions with Nolan and James?
What was this whole big thing? Maybe I'm not up to getting on the web while I'm at work the last couple of days, but what's the whole thing with St. Brown and whether or not he was playing 2K and all this stuff for that pregame? Do we want to go into that at all?
Yeah, I'll take over this one,
James.
Because Woody had a great conversation with Jahmyr Gibbs that you can catch on our pregame show Sunday, 10 a.m., and he talked video games with, I guess, the best video game player the Lions have, Jahmyr Gibbs.
He did say that.
He did say that. And what some people kind of caught over the weekend is Amon-Ra St. Brown was playing video games at 4 a.m. before the Browns. Allegedly. Thank you, Nolan. Journalism is important.
Yes.
He was allegedly playing video games. But as you can see, Mr. Liquid Bread, it didn't matter because he had a couple touchdowns. He can play video games all night if he's playing the Cleveland Browns.
Although when I did talk to St. Brown about that, he said that it wasn't him who was playing against Jahmyr Gibbs.
I don't believe him.
And lost 21-2, got smoked in NBA 2K. So I don't know. I mean, he also said that Gibbs was good at trolling. So, there may be some discrepancy as to who was actually up at 4 a.m. If anybody was up at 4 a.m., I'm not going to get anybody in trouble by saying that they weren't.
Appreciate
it. You always have to use the A word there.
And he may have been drinking some of this great Detroit Atwater beer.
I like that.
Right before, during why his 4 o'clock gaming, and it could have been his brother, since he said they got beat. His brother did go to Notre Dame, but
look, you know what? We're not
athlete.
We're not going to hold the fact that he went to Notre Dame against him. What I want to know is that beverage you held up. What was that? An adult beverage? What is that?
Yes, that is Atwater Brewing Company's Vanilla Java Porter, but it's kind of blurred because of my background. But that is
vanilla. I like that.
VJP Hazelnut.
VJP hazelnut. Look at that.
Yeah,
oh
I want one of
goodness.
those.
Liquid bread. I understand where the liquid part comes from now. Okay.
It's flowing. It's flowing tonight. It's Friday night.
Hey, Liquid Bread, do me a favor. Give me a score for Sunday. I mean, Lions down in Cincinnati against a Bengals team that is in quite a bit of disarray. They got no QB, no Joe Burrow, so it's Jake Browning, but they still got Chase and T. Higgins and all those other guys. So talk to me.
Well, first I want to point out that I think I was the closest in the prediction last week on Friday for the Browns game. Just saying. I wasn't exact, but I was
you may be
close.
right
He was
on
pretty.
that.
He was almost there.
So we're going to say the defense is not what the Browns had. So let's go. I think they're just going to put the hammer down. I'm going to break. They're going to break 40. Let's say a nice round 42 to 10.
42-10.
42
if
to
you know
10.
what, if the score's 42-10, how many does St. Brown get, Nolan?
Ooh. probably 2 or 3.
And I got to
with
think
the way he's
JMO
playing.
is going to be involved in this as well. So it's going to be good. I hope. I'm sorry, 3 what?
I heard something on the broadcast last week. If the three-headed beast each get a touchdown, they win every time, right?
I think it's 12-0 at this point. Montgomery, St. Brown, and Gibbs when they all score a touchdown.
12-0. That would be every time then, right?
Yeah, that's why I want to get the
he's
number
correct.
4,
Look at
Mr. Liquid Bread.
Oh, that's great. Mr. Liquid Bread.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks
I got to
for
go
coming.
shotgun a beer. I'll be
We
right back.
appreciate
Take
it.
care, guys.
Exactly. Look at one of our favorites, Mr. Liquid Bread.
And I wanted to ask Nolan real quick.
All right, before we break, go ahead.
All right, because he brought up JMO, and in that last game against the Browns, it almost looked like some forcing it or maybe some miscommunication, and I want to know your take on that, because clearly it didn't matter in the game, but they can't be throwing it deep to just incomplete or interceptions like they did last week. So what's your take on the JMO game?
Well, I think it was kind of an anomaly that they did that, right? So that tells you that that was a specific game plan that they wanted for the Cleveland Browns. Now, they were coming off a short week, and Dan Campbell kind of explained part of it by saying, look, we were on a short week. Usually Wednesday is the day that we get on the same page with those things, the downfield passing game, stuff like that, but they didn't get to practice on Wednesday. And so I definitely think that might have hurt them because they were looking to break the game open with those plays, but they just didn't get to practice it throughout the week. I also think there could probably be some blame passed around on those. And, some of the blame is just the defender got in Goff's face and he had to change the angle on his throw. There was one where JMO had a deep post route and Malik Collins from Cleveland was crashing the pocket and he had a hand in the face. You saw a slight change of angle, and it doesn't look like a good pass, but he did have to change things up. At the end.
Scotty Montgomery was also chiming in on that, talking about JMO and maybe the position of his hands on the catch. Maybe he shouldn't wait for it to come all the way down here. He should maybe go up a little more, and that would, fend off the defender a little more. But again, these things are easy to correct out on the practice field and talk about when you win games. Mm-hmm. And right now, the Lions are on a 3-game win streak. I think they will extend it to 4 and, be cruising for the rest of the season into the bye week and beyond. So all the Lions have to do this week is really take care of their business. And it's going to be happy times. I mean, I don't really see any kind of stumble or any kind of problem unless it's catastrophe, and Goff has another 5-interception day, and the run game.
Why would you even say that?
The run game
what are you
only
doing?
produces 20 yards and all
what
that
are
kind
you
of thing.
doing?
Come on, man, it's Cincinnati. You know what we're talking about.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm throwing a quick break right now. There's going to be much more of the Sports Office. We got a lot more to talk about. Your calls, bucket ball, off the sticks. Why am I wearing a Miami Hurricanes jersey? We'll talk about all of that right after this break. Welcome back. You are in touch with the Sports Office on a Friday. We're shifting gears, going from football to baseball, and that means the Detroit Tigers. Detroit in the American League Divisional Series against the Seattle Mariners. Game 1 on Saturday, and right now I'm scratching my head to see who's going to pitch Game 1, because right now it's not going to be Tarek Skubal. We know that. Who might it be, James?
It's probably going to be Cater Montero. He's kind of been their pseudo bullpen guy who starts out and then long relievers take over like Kyle Finnegan or Tyler Holton, and then Skubal's Game 2. So you just hope to go to Seattle and come back east tied at 1.
Can they do that?
I mean, look at what Skubal did in Cleveland. He had a great game, and they ended up getting out of that game.
But I look at what Skubal has done against Seattle, and he has gotten roughed up against Seattle. In fact, a lot of the Tigers starters have gotten roughed up against Seattle. They went 2-4 against Seattle this year, so obviously not a good track record. But, Nolan, as A.J. Hinch says, it's October. Everything is brand new. I mean, do you buy that kind of talk or mindset, knowing that
you buy it now?
Can this team flip it around?
Yeah, after seeing them win the playoff series, of course I believe that. I mean, Javi Baez, the hottest hitter on the planet for the last week. Absolutely.
Does a longer series maybe take some of the pressure off?
Maybe, perhaps. I mean, you get Skubal going twice in that 5-game series. I think that helps a lot. You just kind of got to make sure that you win those games and then find one more out of the 3. So, but yeah, it was interesting coming off the 3-game series.
I would vote to maybe Javi Baez being the MVP of the wild card series. James, who are you looking at as far as somebody who can maybe carry the load in the divisional series from the offensive side of the ball?
I mean, you look at some of these guys, I think Torkelson's got to start hitting. Mm-hmm. You'd hope he finally pops one for a home run. And, I mean, he had a couple good at-bats in the wild card series. You want to say Kerry Carpenter, but just when a lefty pitcher's up there, he's either not playing or not successful.
Well, the question is this. Okay, maybe they may not be hitting home runs, but from what we're seeing, they're starting to get their line drive stroke back. I mean, we're seeing, doubles into the corner, hits into the gap, that kind of thing. And what we've seen, it's contagious because they're scoring runs that way. A.J. Hinch right now, I think, is pulling out every little managerial trick he knows. He's going to play small ball. He's going to, play for the big hit. He's going to, try to advance runners and do all of that because I think he knows that, with the flaws on this team, I got to maximize every opportunity I can get.
Yeah, and I think the way that they won yesterday was big. Mm-hmm. They didn't scratch out another 2-1 victory or anything like that. Like, the bats legitimately got hot in that game. I think they batted around in one inning, and I think that's big. Baseball is a big confidence game, and they just were playing like a team without a lot of confidence for many, many weeks there to close September.
And we also saw relievers get some work. I mean, Will Vest was very good, even after getting hit in the head by Torkelson on the throw to first base. But I mean, to make the play at second shows that everyone is in the game. Nobody has checked out mentally, and that's exactly what you need taking the next step forward.
I think here's what I'm really worried about is a team like Seattle has such a powerful lineup. Mm-hmm. I mean, Cal Raleigh, the year he's had, he's clearly the MVP, in my opinion. You have over 60 home runs as a switch-hitting catcher. That's an error. Mm-hmm. That's a catch.
Right,
and you have Julio Rodriguez, J.P. Crawford. A lot of these guys are going to be able to really hit against these Tigers pitchers. So if the lineup isn't performing and they're not hitting, I don't know how they're going to be able to compete.
You know what, James? It sounds like a good place to take a break. We got one more. Let's go to it, and we'll be right back after this. Let's not forget a big weekend of college football. Of course, we've got Michigan at home to take on Wisconsin, and we've got Michigan State going on the road to handle Nebraska. So, let's hope that Michigan and Michigan State can get it done. I think the Spartans will have a tough time. Why am I wearing my Miami Hurricanes jersey? Well, because this week the Canes are going up against Florida State, and you know what that rivalry is all about. A lot of wide rights, a lot of wide lefts, a lot of Canes victories, and you know me, I'm Miami all day long. So yes, the Canes will do it. Now, having said all that, let's turn it over to my man James for a new segment we're calling Off the Sticks. Go get it, James.
It is Fun Friday, Off the Sticks Friday. Thank you, everybody. I am your host, James Paxson. And now the last thing we do on Fridays is called Woody Versus. Last week he won a putting contest against Matt, and he never bought us dinner before he left, so I guess we didn't get anything. But this week, our guest, Nolan, is going to be playing bucket ball with us. Matt, get that bucket. Here's the game. We have a ton of different balls. We have a basketball, we have a soccer ball, we have a wiffle ball, we have a football, and then we have a mystery ball. And whoever gets the most in the bucket out of 5 is the winner. And if we have a tie, we go to a tiebreaker like last week.
We like ties.
But we do have a little bit of a home court advantage, as you can see. They're going to be cheering.
Oh! Get in the bucket!
Thank you very much. And Nolan is going to be going first. Nolan, please take the basketball.
Good luck.
All you got to do is get it in the bucket.
What do I get if I win?
You know what? You get bragging rights.
Okay, I'll take that.
How about that?
Get in the bucket.
Come on.
Get in the bucket. Come on, get in the bucket.
That's a miss. Next I'm going to give you is the wiffle ball. Wiffle ball is ball number 2.
Don't whiff on that ball. Don't whiff.
Hey! Next we're going with the soccer ball. The soccer ball. Oh, off the rim. The 4th one, the football. Here you go, Nolan. He is 1 for 4, and now it is time for the mystery ball. Can you hold this mic?
I can. The mystery ball is coming out right here.
El
This is
Cojones
amazing
is coming
because
out.
I
El
asked what it was,
Cojones.
and it is.
The mystery ball is cabbage. So here you go, Nolan. Please do not miss. That is my desk.
Dunk it. Dunk it.
We got everybody cheering.
That is 1 for 5.
Nice
Nolan
job,
did a good
Nolan.
job.
1 for 5. 1 for
1
5.
for 5.
Yeah, down that
I
way.
got another one. Woody's got his own thing of cabbage. Don't worry.
Thank you.
20%.
What's the first ball I get?
Well, I'm
And how
gonna
much
give you-
time do we have left?
Thank
Basketball
you.
is the first one?
We have 2 full minutes.
No. I got these here. Ready?
All right, hey, behind the tarp. Behind
I'm
the tarp.
sorry. Behind the line.
You need to beat 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5. Take your time. That's a miss. Take your time. Take your time.
84. Who's 84?
Oh,
Football. Football's number 4.
I can't believe this. Nolan, I can't believe this. Yeah,
Okay.
there's
All right.
one.
Real quick, while I get Woody's cabbage, Nolan, please tell everyone where they can follow you and your podcast. Go.
You can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Nolan Bianchi. Same thing with Instagram, TikTok, and then DetroitNews.com. Also listen to Gridiron Gang, streaming every Thursday morning and day after games. Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you very much, Nolan. And
some
it is
arch.
tied.
Come on, get some arch.
One make for Woody, one make for Nolan, and the final ball
Why is
is
this cabbage
cabbage.
cold? All right.
Arch. Arch. Get that arch up.
He's not making this. He's not making this.
Off the ceiling tile.
All right, here we go.
84. Who's 84?
Thank you.
Fair and square. Fair and square.
It sounds like Michigan State. He got it. He got it.
Woody is our champion. Woody, please give us a quick preview of our Sunday because we got a busy Sunday going on. Go ahead.
Sunday is going to be huge, okay? Of course, we have the Lions and the Bengals, and we have the Tigers and the Mariners, and it's Sportsworks Sunday night. Dan Miller, myself, everybody, the whole gang will be talking about a Lions victory. Come join us at the round table every Sunday night, and let's not forget the sports office next week on Monday. You know what? Cabbage for everybody. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend, everybody. See you next time.